Alright, apologies for the late stream. Had a pretty busy day today. But nothing that some drawing can't fix. Let's see. Oh right, I kind of adjusted this. Okay. There we go. Okay. Today, as far as like characters in the pilot go, pretty much designed all of the important characters for the pilot specifically. So we get to kind of move on to some of the more minor background supporting characters. I think today specifically, or tonight specifically, we'll be working on a character named simply just called the Concierge. And they're a kind of an enforcer in this criminal underbelly that a portion of the pilot takes place in. He's kind of like our main like liaison for the underground. And he's kind of had a tumultuous design history. So this is what he used to look like. You know, back in the olden days of not great, you know, everything. He's kind of there's not a whole lot going on there. It just feels wrong. And then the other one, more recently last year, I came back and redesigned him. I still didn't like it. Like even then I'm like, what are we doing here? And, you know, I'm kind of, you know, right off the heels of designing Cleodora, who's another Reptoid. And maybe I can use that to help inform what this guy's gonna look like. Reptoids are, you know, have been defined very recently that they are very varied in, you know, how they can look. Really just the most important part about this guy is that he is slimy, and he feels slimy. He looks, you know, like this, you don't trust him kind of guy. Let's see. I think first, let's get a little bit of a warm-up in. I did some rock climbing earlier, and I know my hands could definitely use a little bit of loosening up. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and post to Instagram that I am streaming. Okay. Okay. Let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna switch this over. There we go. Do 60 seconds. And just do some warm-ups. Taking a second. There we go. Okay. I feel like I've drawn this specific picture a lot of times. This man with his spear. Never expect the first figure drawing to be amazing. It's just me, you know, getting into the speed of things. We're warming up. This could be a little better. Okay. He does have underwear on. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell. It's hard to tell, and you know, don't yell at me in terms of service. This is just, it's artistic. We're warming up. We're doing figure drawing. I just need you to believe me. Okay, so he's got this like crazy shoulder thing going on. What kind of accentuated? This is kind of coming out. Our middle of the arms right there. Middle of the arms here. I kind of like it better without that. Okay. Come on. Felt like that one kind of started strong and I got distracted by the details. Hard to tell where the legs are here. Just gonna have to guess. Ah, there he is. I was wondering when he'd show up. This guy's, you know, relatively thin. Oh, you didn't miss much, don't worry. I'm just in my little warm-up stage right now. So, like, He's got this coming out to here. He's got this kind of coming out to there. All right. This guy might be our last one. Remember I used to look at characters like John Silver or just, you know, like characters in cartoons or just animation with larger builds, and I'd think like, oh man, like that must be a lot more difficult to draw. But I think it's the exact opposite. There's just like so much more room for me to work with here than like this muscular guy. Okay, let's see if this next one... Oh man, that guy is flexing. Alright. We'll call it a quits there. Okay. Some alright warm-ups. Now, time to get to the main event. Ah, the concierge. Let's pull up my description of him in the script. Might as well. Just so I can get an idea of what's what's essential to the character. I think this is the right one. Okay. Scroll down to... He probably comes in halfway through. All right, yeah, okay. He's much more minor now in the pilot. That's It's just a slimy concierge approaches them. That's it. That's all I got to work with. All right. Now, should he have the long neck? Maybe. I've never been the biggest fan of his clothing. Just mess around with the looks for this guy. He could just be like the epitome of triangle. Like, yes. Evil. Oh, why is his legs doing that? No matter what, they're going to have this, like, fin thing going on. Yeah, long neck, yeah. Yeah, definitely have to redeem this guy. He's had a rough go of it as far as me designing him goes. Talk about a long neck right there. Okay. Be a little bit wider. Coming down here. You could be a little bit more snake-like. In comparison to Cleodora's kind of like, I don't know, more dragon-like. This pointy chin. It kind of just looks like you just asked him a question at like 12 in the morning during his shift, and he's like, oh, yeah, over in aisle 8. Trying to make it look like he's just like never washed his hair. That's what I'm thinking of when I think of Slimy. Kind of getting there. Slimy. Slimy feels more like a... It's like yellowish green to me. This guy definitely won't be getting like as much treatment. Heck yeah. Yeah, he won't be getting as much, like, I don't know. It's like with these guys, I kind of really get into, I even give him like a little profile view. I think for this guy, it's gonna be very simple, just front and back. He's not like a main supporting character. He kind of just shows up for this episode. Maybe some future ones, but who knows. So he's kind of like, bleh. He could be one of the oranger ones. No, not slimy enough. I wanted it to look like that, absolutely. Yeah. I think the more booger-like his skin looks, the better. Did Cleodora end up looking? No. It's not you. There you are. Maybe we could go into the green. Yeah, there you go. That feels quite booger-like. Okay, so this can be a fun example of how different the patterning can be for them as well. So maybe his covers his whole face, or at least the whole upper half. Get this man like a body-sized tissue. Almost kind of crook-like. Like, you know, he kind of looks like he's wearing a mask. Just with his face patterns. Definitely fun. I've got an idea of like... I don't know why, I kind of just want another little spot right there. It's pretty fun. Would he color his hair? Would he care about coloring his hair? Maybe. His original... Here. Let's look at OG Concierge. Very boring. Gross. What was I thinking? Yeah, already he's looking a lot more... He's got a lot more character going on. But I gave him this like weird brown hair for some reason. I just kind of keep leaning into booger. I kind of want to see if this can still work. His weird hair. Yeah. Let's see. It is kind of fun. Yeah, poo hair. Probably not. Especially if it'd be in the same Shade. Okay, let's make it darker. I'm thinking like the, you know, the booger green. We go back to the more yellow and we make it darker. Ooh, not like that though. Just where it needs to be. Now he looks like he just came out of a swamp. Hmm. Kind of feeling it, kind of feeling it. Is he a rattlesnake? Maybe. One of his other like defining features is that he's got pistols. Hmm. So if he's kind of a gunslinger, you can kind of have that play into his look. Very triangle shaped. Welcome, Qual. Working on another Reptoid today. A little bit more of a supporting slash minor character. But, you know, he's gotta be designed. Let's see here. They'll have like dual holsters or something. Make that like a big part about his character. His hand. Yeah, like he's ready to draw those pistols when he needs to. Definitely tall, long. Oh. Okay. Kind of feeling him a little bit. Kind of like the idea of his hair coming on out. Like that. Yeah, because I kind of abandoned the Cobra look for Cleodora, so maybe this guy can kind of look Cobra-like. Cobra-esque. And then his ears can be a little, like, narrower. Definitely has a more interesting physique right now. Something like that. Very skinny. Hello, Shape World Returns. Thanks for joining the stream. We're working on a slimy reptilian kind of character right now. It's kind of a gunslinger, kind of a villain. Let's see. I like this vibe. Oh wait, no, this is his. That's his thumb. And then he's kind of going like, oh, I might grab my pistol. Again, those will be... those might be a little too large. Let's see. I almost want him to be even skinnier. Like a toothpick. He doesn't have to have muscles. Not everyone has to have muscles. He can just be lines. Kind of have this part of the chest come out. Do that kind of thing. Okay. Is he a cowboy? I don't know if he's a cowboy. I definitely want to save like any cowboy-esque designs for like a specific region in the show. I don't wanna do that. I kind of want his arm here in a more dynamic pose. And by dynamic, I just might just mean bending it a little bit more. Let's see. So we got pelvis is aligned this way. So this would indicate that actually our center of gravity, this would be our tall leg. And then this would be the slanted leg. Ooh. Fake him on the Anomaly Hunters. That's fun. Something like that. What are we thinking about for heads? 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. Man's a little wonky. I think he could be like around Cleodora height. Let's see. Nine? Why is that so different? Is that like not? Weird. Why did you paste smaller? Strange. Well, anyway. I like the idea of this guy being, you know, about 8 heads tall. So, let's manipulate this. I'll get rid of this drawing, yeah. We're still finding him. Okay, part of his height is gonna be his long neck. That might attribute to some kind of weirdness. And then let's think. His neck, yeah, let's make the neck is like half a head, just so it really feels long. And then the body. Why do you... Is it because of the long neck? No. Your arms would be longer. Arms would be longer. And then let's just make the legs real long too. Ears probably wouldn't be that high on the head. Just think. I like the idea of seeing a bit of the hair here. What are you gonna be wearing, dude? What are you gonna be wearing? Not that. 70% fantasy, 30% cyberpunk. What does that mean? Well, this man kind of fits that. He's got the big old coat. Granted, his clothing is pretty simple to accommodate his arm. If I am a slimy gunslinger, let's look up some like gunslinger stuff. No. No, he will have clothes. Let's see. Yeah. Just think. A poncho could be pretty fun to help allude to that. A poncho. But he's not a Western, you know, we're not doing the Western thing yet. So let's play around with it. I get you. Because he's got this. I don't want to, like, cover up his fun stuff here. Of course. He could have like a little scarf. Yeah, space poncho. He could have like a little scarf. I don't want to cover up his weird neck though. Does he have a little coat? Kind of wearing one of these. Cause like a vest. He could be wearing a vest. With just the spikiest collar. Don't want him. He could. Slimy. Gotta look slimy. Like, here's my thought. I know it's kind of hard to tell right now, but let's see. We bring back. Let's color him in a little bit. Make things a little bit easier to understand. I'm thinking like he could have like a low cut on his shirt. It could be fun. Let's see. He's gonna have this. Yeah, I tend to. I think history is definitely one of my favorite subjects in school. It's very fun. I like the idea of learning from past mistakes and all that. Okay, yeah. So he's got this. And then he's got neck. It's got like this matted, not matted hair, but like this long, crazy hair. Pretty fun. Yeah, I think he's kind of, you know, it's gonna be like cowboy punk almost. Let's see. So since he is like a less important character, might want to stick to like more of a monochromatic color scheme. At least for his clothes. Kind of picture. Let's see if he can still rock a purple vibe. Just kind of like make it a more fun purple. So maybe a little deeper. So, kind of like this. Yeah, he's kind of looking like a rock star. Let's see. Just have like the full-on wife beater underneath. I hate the word. I hate the name for that kind of shirt. Can we find a new name for that? Yeah, like that. And then he's just got his neon purple. Yeah, that could be fun. That's a good point. I feel like with like a gunslinger, yeah, they tend to kind of have their hands out. He's like, I'm gonna get you. Okay, so neon purple. You could have cause I feel like we need some characters with some like glowy bits on them. You could have his collar glowing, or what would he want glowing? His pants. Yeah, this is looking pretty fun. Definitely want some kind of... more towards the violet. He's like right here for some reason. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's one of the reptoids. So I'm using him as a great little contrast to Cleodora. Cleodora is, I guess, like the most normal looking of like the reptoids. Like, you know, she looks pretty much just like a green human. And I want like every other reptoid to be very different. So yeah, you would have like holsters. Holsters would be like a big part of his gimmick, I think. Give him a belt. I'm gonna let that belt kind of show right here. Now it's kind of hard to tell, but I've got an idea. Yeah, very different. I mean, one of them is like essentially the most powerful woman in the city, and the other's a guy in the underground. Damn it. Yeah, I've got an idea with how that's gonna look. Because if you were... He could have boots. He could have, like, some high boots. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. More rebellious. Favorite book series, that's tough. I think my current favorite is Red Rising. It's like a spacefaring epic. I'm also like very bad at reading. My dyslexia kind of makes me not want to read, unfortunately. I need to get into like audiobooks. Especially when I'm starting up my new job. That will be having me driving a lot. I'll have a lot of time to kill. Hierarchy stereotypes related to the species. I think so. Reptoids. It could be funny to give them like the conspiracy theory background, like they are in, you know, the reptoids run the government. But I think they were the most recent, like, victim of prejudice in some kind of event. And, or, like, they used to be, like, the lowest rung in society. And Cleodor's, like, put a lot of work into changing their perception. You know, like, within their own species, I like the idea that they have, like, this, like, rich culture. She's got a Reptoid tattoo. But yeah. I think I almost want his... Oh, his hands are still rather large. Yeah, and so, like, the Reptoids, what the? Oh. Yeah, the Reptoids most, you know, being the most recent victim of that kind of prejudice. She would relate a lot to Edina. Edina is a Ragarian, and Ragarians are kind of have like this stereotype that they are like the last remnants of mages. They're like the descendants of like what were the last witches and wizards and whatever. So they kind of have that stereotype of like that they, oh, you know, some of them still have some magic, and there's, you know, some annoyance that comes from that. And also some like, just like judgment, preconceived notions about them. And so Cleodora kind of sees that and feels for Edina in that way. And so she kind of uses that as one of her like, we're not so different, you and I, kind of moments. Got a lot of warm colors, and then juxtaposed with very cool colors. Your pants. Pants. And then more like that. She's focused on her own gain. Yeah, she might have, like, you know, lost the plot along the way, where she kind of, maybe she started her path with good intentions, and has since kind of lost that altruism. I think she's one of those, like, her mindset is definitely like, I had to suffer to get to this position, so everyone should have to go through that same suffering. That's definitely her mentality. Let's give, yeah, okay. You can have some boots. Got boots. He's got this tank top underneath. What if the tank top was black? That could also be cool. The white tank top gives me rocker vibes, and maybe the darker tank top gives me more punk vibes. Or it's pink. Okay, let's think about... Yeah, okay. So a lot of these hues are very similar, very close together. So we want to vary that a little bit. Make this a little darker. I think it could serve to be even darker. Something like that. I feel like this is now part of that. Let's grab this. Remind me what you look like. There you are. Think some fangs. I think maybe like a stereotype with the reptoids would be that they're kind of, you know, that kind of like cold-blooded thing, maybe. They have less emotion, or they feel less emotion. That's what people tend to think. High cheekbone. Looking a little wonky. It's because this eye is a little wonky. Let me pull up some reference. Where is the reference? There it is. I scrolled past it. There it is. Yeah, okay. Right, let's figure out some holsters. Very spiky. Okay, so if he's got these holsters, these weird sci-fi holsters, means I gotta design his guns too. I do not want to design his guns, but it's something I'll have to do. Let's think. How would you look? Could have just like a belt. Pizza guns? Mm-hmm. It's like, put your hands where I can see them. It's more like when a Ninja Turtle is like pointing at one of his brothers with pizza in his hand. I had a design for them originally. They're kind of boring now, though. I might try to just get an actual prop designer to help me out with those. That's a pizza, sir. You want to bet? Let's see. Oh, right. I had this like idea that these are like, you know, We got a belt here for them. And then they're like attached. Like little suspenders. Maybe. Maybe. There might be too much going on with suspenders. Kind of like a torn shirt. What does a holster usually look like? Just so we can stylize it a little bit. Do like that. You just had them on your legs for some reason. Hmm. Meow. What's up, Meow? Oh, really? Wow. Hello. Very well, yes. I don't want to fall into the same trap I tend to with him, which is the holsters look kind of stupid. But I do want them to be part of his design. I just gotta find a cooler look. I think it's fun if they're just kind of part of the leg, part of the pants. Why not? Let's do a little canvas flip. All right. Let's think about this S shape that's going into this. yeah. To introduce the cat. So we have this kind of weird, kind of goes that and then that again. It feels odd. Let's move that head around. Like, clearly there's like, you know, I'm trying to make it look like he's looking over there, but at the angle of his neck, his head really should be kind of like tilted more. Just so... What else feels weird about you? I think it still feels off. Clearly we have this kind of curve going here. And it needs to come up. Like that. Okay, that's looking better. Now, let's think. Meow. What's up, Meow? You talking to me? Oh, really? Oh, you want up on my lap? Oh. Oh. Goodness. You're heavy. Heavy kitty. And there goes the engine. Okay. Let's look at this guy. What do you think, Lou? We definitely use some refinement. I think this collarbone should be more like this. A little bit more slanted. Oh, wait a second. No, that was correct. Wait, no. That's correct. Not you. Should be more like that. Which means that you should be higher. What's up with that? Let's see. Gonna do that. Think about that. I don't want this shoulder noticeably higher. Don't want this guy taking this long to design. But he's gotta look good. I think I just have a fundamental misunderstanding of how coats look. Hmm. Oh, you went out? Okay. Oh. I think what I'm getting wrong, if your coat is open, be opening this way. Hmm. Okay. Flip. Let's look at the crazy collars we have so far. We got large collar, and we've got large collar. Hmm. Oh, come on. Luna. R. To the kitty. Okay. I don't know why this is taking me so long to figure out this darn jacket. It's, over there. Maybe. Whatever. It's like I forgot how a jacket looks. I guess just like the cropped ones we don't see a whole lot. Okay, anyway. At least I don't draw them a lot. So you got boots, you got... Yeah, that's kind of fun. Heading like a little line right there. Just that. No, he's... Long neck. It's called fashion. Oh. Those are here. Morale? What's up? What you talking about? Really? You went back up here? Or wanting to play? That's what's happening, huh? It is almost 11. That's you know, we're approaching Zoomy hours, huh? Wow. Can't believe it's almost 11. Wow. Talk about late. Okay, concierge. This guy. Hmm. Hmm. Might be fine. Try not to overthink it too much. It's just the, it's the hips. I feel like the top half is pretty good. It's just this little, the hip area feels kind of wonky. Hmm. Like, it feels like a lot of gun holsters, at least nowadays, tend to just like wrap around the leg. Just an odd choice. But, hmm. Then there's also the, like, you're wearing them, like, up here kind of look. Oh gosh. Like the kind of where they're here. Maybe that's the fun part, because he's got the jacket. That could be fun. Otherwise, yeah, not vibing with that. I don't think so. Hmm. Hmm? Hmm. Idea. All right, good night. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I didn't see that for a little bit. You're probably already gone. Hmm. Okay. I think I can prop design. I think I can do it. We'll see. We'll see. So we could do classic revolver vibes. Then we do this kind of thing. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, careful. Hmm. I'm kind of... It's like, what if the pistol is kind of a crossbow? Hmm. Kind of hard to... Because, I mean, a crossbow is a very, like... Just... Like, very easy to distinguish shape. You look at it and you're like, yeah, that's a crossbow. Hmm. I know it's very stupid looking right now, but... There's something there. There's a vision here. I just gotta find it. Okay, that's very messy, but there's an idea there. There's definitely an idea. I just gotta find it. It'd be a weird vertical kind of crossbow, but can kind of help give it a very distinguishing look. Because the one detriment of a crossbow, especially if like you're aiming it, it's kind of like all the cool stuff is very flat. Oh man. Sorry to wake you up there. I do like the idea of seeing inside it. I think this could be a little top port. This could be a little bottom port for like the slide. And we kind of like can see the... Look at me designing things. Who would have thought? Not me. That's for sure. That's, yeah, I think that's looking a lot better than this weird thing to the left. You know? You never forget your prototype, I guess. It served a function, and that was getting to this thing. I can't believe I'm designing a prop right now. Here's the thought. Like when this is pulled back, oops, versus when it's a bit more slack, like that. So you move, you know, do that. Slides these back. And then maybe it also just creates the arrow through some sci-fi magic. Like that. Sorry, yeah, I was talking with someone. I'm kind of digging how this is looking. I don't think I'm the best at designing colors for items like this yet, but we'll figure it out. Something kind of like that. I think that's kind of fun. Kind of want to exaggerate this more. Just to really feel the tension in it. I think also maybe a good way to show it is this. And a little bit more like this. Something kind of like that. So then, where would you be keeping these? I think it could be fun if they were like in his coat. One, so I don't have to draw any holsters. And two, I mean, he's got a coat. Why not use it to hide his crossbow pistols? Hmm. I do like the idea of him having the little scales on his cheeks. Yeah, okay. I think at the rate this is going, I might be able to be done with his just general turnaround by tonight. The weapon might be a different story. Yeah. Oh, hello. This lizard guy is the, right, his real only name is the concierge. He's, essentially a representative of the underground, which is one of the primary locations that we are in the pilot. And so he's kind of like an enforcer of their like thieves guild like law. And yeah. So he's a reptoid. Kind of like Cleodora. Cleodoras are one of our one of our primary antagonists, like one of the big bads. And so he's another of the lizard folk, but in this case, his neck is a little bit more accentuated. Meow. What's up? Where's your toy? Where is it? Sorry. It is midnight zoomy time for the cat. Okay. So have that end there, and then I think his wrists would be a little thinner. But yeah, so this is definitely a like more minor character. It's kind of embarrassing how much time he's taking of mine. But, you know, how it goes sometimes. This doesn't feel right. Fingers don't do that. Come on. Why? Why must it end like this. There we go. It's a little better. There we go. I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. I like this hand a lot more. My studies of Atlantis have changed my hand drawing forever. That's a very long little arm. That's fun. I like that. Show our little this thing. He's got a belt. Don't know what it's doing, but it's there. Okay. I want to stick with very flowy shapes. So I kind of want this to be an easy, like that. Don't want anything to look stiff. Go. And then he's got some holsters here. We think holsters on the hips. This is, you know, last chance. Holsters on the hips or holsters in the vest. Cause yeah, when he says is amazing 2 lines. Where is that? Did I close out of that? Damn. Okay. Whoops. I totally thought that was still open. Whatever, I can access it right here. When he says one of his 2 lines. Where are you? Still in Act 1, you'd be right. Yeah. What do you, abide by the code. Like he could like show his pistol when he says that, abide by the code. So does he open the vest? I gotta enter my mind palace. What do I want that to look like? I just think stuff on the hips will feel clunky. And also, he's a minor villain. Like, if he was like an actual bounty hunter going after them, sure. That would warrant that amount of design. But this guy's kind of just, he's kind of just there. He's necessary, but he's not like a recurring character. Okay, come on. Butt, and then we do thigh into that. What are you doing? What's going on with you? Thigh, that, into that. Luna. Oh, you have your zoomies. Wow, you have your zoomies. Oh man. As of right, well, no, yeah, I have a few people helping me out. As far as character design goes, I'm the only one doing any character design as for now. But yeah, I have a composer, a very awesome composer that I'm going to be meeting with tomorrow, actually. And then I've got some awesome background artists that are helping me out with some location design. They've been very helpful. But yeah, and I got a couple voice actors lined up. But I think I'll be having like a full-on audition thing eventually. I think pretty much once all of these character designs are done, that's when we'll do the auditions. Lou, you little crazy gal, what are you doing? I like these weird skinny legs of his. That's a fun shape. The inner side of the ankle is higher than the outer side of the ankle. That's something that Aaron Blaze has driven into me. Honestly, yeah. That is a bad looking foot. That's better. Yeah, that's fine. What does your... Yeah, he just had shoes. Any pattern to these shoes? Yeah, sure, that. No. They can have like the soles or whatever. They're gonna be pretty dark. We're not gonna see them. Morale? What you doing, Morale? Oh, gosh. My cat does this thing where she'll only play with the toy if it's behind a curtain. Okay. Good. I think this guy's kind of nearing completion. Uh-oh. Did I draw, like, most of that on the wrong layer? That's sick. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright. Not too bad. I can easy fix. Thank goodness. Okay. Looking pretty good. Pretty good. I never drew the rest of your hair. I realize that now. Granted, I didn't sketch the rest of his hair. Because I want it kind of coming out. It's weird in a manner. I think that'll be easier to keep track of. And then you're coming down like this. Then we'll see like a couple strands Right there. More like that. Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely, once we get to like the actual animating part, I'm definitely not going to be animating. I'm more of a storyboard artist. I'll hire some animators to help me out. But yeah, I mean, so essentially, you know, just using my day job to help pay for a living. And then I can do this at night. You know, I was going to do it anyway, so might as well stream it. Okay. That's a little better. Let's make this booger. Booger color. Let's go. Ooh. Oh, I see that gap. Ah. It's my least favorite part about doing this in Procreate. The fill tool is doo-doo. Okay. Almost there. Then I can go to bed. Let's do the swamp green hair. Nope. I feel like I'm staring straight into the sun now that I made the background white. Meow. Meow. I know. Just gotta finish this up, Blue, and then I'll give you all the attention you need. Usually I stream at like 5, like 5 to 7 usually, but today was a little busy. That's right, Luna. It was busy. Let's check. Okay. You can be a little bit brighter. A little bit more in the middle. Yeah. Okay. You think I'm talking to you, Lou? I guess that makes sense. He is just a minor character, so we're giving him this pretty monochromatic color scheme for his clothing. Luna, stop eating your own hair, you weirdo. I swear. Things she does to get my attention. Okay. We got. Okay. And then I guess this dark color for the belt. Kind of works. I feel like we need maybe just a, easy gray right there. I do want the neon purple showing up somewhere. The idea was that it shows up like on his little legs here. No, because he's a punk. He might not be able to afford that kind of clothing. What? Meow. Oh yeah. His cool, like, patterning. So it covers his cheeks. Goes to here. And then his nose, it kind of like does a little triangle shape from the nose. Luna. You absolute lunatic. Yeah, I know why I called you Luna. It's not because of the moon, it's because you're crazy. Fill this in. It's kind of funny because it kind of makes it look like his like head is just in shadow, but that's just his. It's just how he look. It's just his face. Eyes should be an orange. It's got these teeth. Going a tangent forming there, so we'll have that overshoot it. Yeah. Look at this guy. What a what a glow up, man. What a glow up. It would be fun to just do the counter shading on the whole arm, but let's spare the animators some resources here and just have it be the head and neck. Maybe this little part, back of the hand. Easy peasy. Okay. Yeah, I think you're done. Way to go. All right. Been pretty good, concierge. You look. It's like night and day. I'll show you. Do a little. This flip. Does this minor character need a turnaround? I don't think so. I don't think they do that for big productions like, you know, like, I think they only do like the full turnaround for characters that show up more than once. And then of course, then my mind goes, well, what's the harm in doing it? Time. That's the harm. Oh. Interesting. There we go. I think I'll probably need somebody to help me refine. I'll probably also hire a prop designer at some point. Because while I enjoy my sketches, it is not... like, you know, like, I'm not a prop designer. I'm more of a character designer. Luna, hey, leave that paper alone, Missy. And now you're sitting on it. Thank you. Lou, just because the paper's there doesn't mean you can chew on it. And I get it. I know your patience is wearing thin, and that you're just trying to find ways to entertain yourself. Let's see. Any last minute things I want to do color-wise? Yeah, I tend to I try to make it every day, if not every other day. I tend to be pretty consistent. So far, at least. I don't think we're paying attention to that. I think... No, that's ridiculous. Morale? Whoa! You're crazy! My goodness. Okay. Anyway. The scale makes it very difficult to pay attention. 12 a.m. But if you do miss a stream, I do store all of them on YouTube, just in case you wanted to catch one. Let's see. I'm gonna make the executive decision and say this man don't need a turnaround. Because, I mean, I think we can understand what his whole look is. There's nothing crazy going on. Which will then shorten this sheet a lot. Let's see. Get our little height chart. He's about 8 heads tall. Sweet. Oops. There. Now those are just the same layer. What am I gonna do with this crop? Just shorten him? Real simple. Grab the branding. This is Kerf. Kerf's a real one. Man, this man looked large. But it's those 4 arms, you know? It's weird that it interprets it like it should be this size. Weird. This app will never cease to confuse me. So I think, so this is his original look here. Definite glow up. He's got a lot more personality going right now. I probably want the pistols in there. We'll just I can do those at a later date. What's important is that the design is done. Actually, that's a great point. I have it even listed in my design breakdown for the pistols to be designed. So, technically, they don't need to be on here. Yippee. We'll push it off till later. The concierge. Yeah, don't think this guy's ever gonna have different looks. I could stand to position this a little better. There. All right. We did it. Success. Let's call this the concierge. All right. Where is... There you are. Concierge. Probably design Screech next. Yeah, okay. I do have the concierge's pistols on there. Gosh. A lot of props. There are gonna be a lot of props. That'll be fine. That'll be somebody else's problem, not mine. Dock worker, Agni would be fun. Seismologist would also be pretty fun. So I think I have someone I want to base him off of. I definitely, I'd love, like, dream casting. Dream casting would, I mean, getting some, like, Epic the Musical singers in that would be sick. Another dream casting, probably a Danny Mata. He's a funny guy. It's a very unique voice. Let's see. Oops. Give him a little shine to those eyes. Yeah, definite improvement. Let's do a little side by side. Yeah, this is, what, 4 years apart? Gross. Oh, God, I hate him. I hate him in the ways that I, shouldn't. Gosh. Yeah, definitely glow up. Congratulations, concierge. You are no longer bad. Okay. Sweet. So, like, for example, I love looking at the glow-ups. We got, like, the Huntsman, or Gage, initially. Very boring. And then you got him now. Like, yeah, look at that guy. Oh, yeah. And then you got, like, Kerf now. Looks great. Kerf before. Somebody feed this man. And, I mean, even Blaze. 4 years apart. I mean, remember back then I was like, ah, yeah, this looks great. And then here we are with her now. Look at that. Look at that gal. Adorable. Same thing with... yeah. But then, yeah, okay. Axel 4 years ago. Seaweed Head. Axel now. Actual character. This is Screech, or she used to be called the Informant, and she's gonna get a overhaul as well. She's desperately in need of one. Oh yeah, then you got used to just be called the Buyer. I had a lot of just like titles for characters, just because I didn't want to name them. But that guy is now this guy, Dr. Lazarus. Much more chiseled. And he's also, chat joked that he is a runway model on the side. Cleodora didn't have a different look. Cleodora, this is her first appearance, first design. And then Adina, I haven't made her up-to-date look, but I can't imagine it'll look like too much different, just, you know, just better drawn. I do like her face shape a lot. Yeah. So, guess we'll prepare that. Just because I feel like it. Call her Screech. What do you look like that? I'll also grab... Yeah, slowly polishing the roster. I've pretty much, covered, like, a lot of the old designs so far. I have all of them saved. I'm tempted to, like, just purge a lot of these files. Yeah, pretty much everyone has been redesigned except for Screech, Karuka, and Adina. Because Zane doesn't show up anymore. Yeah, so pretty soon they'll all have been redesigned. This is Delilah. This is a new character. This is Gage's pet. Let's see. So for Screech is an Avasaur. And Avasaurs, I've decided that even this is old. Just funny. This is like a year ago, but already I'm like, style can be worked on. This is like before I had like redefined my style this summer. So, but they got big noses, and that'll be fun to mess around with. They have big noses and they have like patterns on their face that give them like natural makeup because they are essentially birds. But I'll have that because Screech is our first prominent Avasaur to show up. But yeah, we'll set that up. That's set up for tomorrow or the next day, whenever I get to it. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been a late night stream, pretty successful. Now that we're in this like minor character territory, I don't have to make an entire turnaround, which makes me happy. All right. Thanks for coming to the Forge.